4th and 1, like, I know it's not your sport, but a coaching decision like that, what, like, do you relate to that? What goes into it or anything like that?
Just you have confidence in your personnel. You know what you've worked on that week. The analytics of certain situations. I never forget a few years ago when Seattle they passed in that situation, and they knew they had all the analytics. They had worked on it that week, and they went with their game plan. And the young man from the Patriots just had a different idea. So there's a lot of stuff that goes in those decisions that you can't. It's easy to sit back. Why didn't he do this? Second guess, but only the coaching staff and especially the offensive coordinator understands what the decision. Now you got to live with the results, but that's a tough one.
Consider a play like that a gamble?
Not really. I mean, again, you know what you've worked on. You know your mindset. You know what you had planned on doing in those situations. Because in football, a lot of those, my understanding, I've never been in those situations as a football coach, but my understanding is that a lot of those plays are scripted, and so they know what they want to do at a certain time of the game, certain down, certain yardage, and they go with it. So. Again, I'm a fan just like everybody else.
What challenge does the Celtics represent? #1 defensive team all year. How do you attack them?
Make sure we space the floor, play aggressive, physical offense. We got to set solid screens. But most of all, you got to play with force. You can't go in and be at a 3-quarter gate and try to think you're going to go by them or score against their length and the way they play defense. You can't stand. I thought when we played them early in the year, we were standing a lot. We weren't moving the ball. We weren't sticking with our triggers and executing offensively. So you've got to execute. You've got to screen. You've got to space. You can't have two guys standing next to each other against it. I know it sounds simplistic, but it's huge. Spacing will be very, very important against Boston.
Are you guys that much further along in your program?
I'm not saying we're where we want to be, Mike, but we're further along. We're further along than we were at that point of the season. We're further along in what we want to do, how we want to do it, and having confidence in what we're doing. So I would say yes, we are.
Kamar was just over here talking about they're fun to play against because of Stevens does different things and different looks and changes things up. Is that a fun part of a game like this?
Well, it is. They do some different things. Nothing we haven't seen. Yeah. Nothing that is not new under the sun. They're switching or they're showing. So again, it's about how we approach it with confidence, with force, with aggressiveness. You can't tiptoe and think you're going to just go one-on-one, 15 dribbles, and then think you're going to get a shot. The ball's got to change from side to side. You got to set screens. You got to space against that team. And most of all, you want to have pace in the game. You're not going to come up and have a slugfest against their team because they do a good job of crowding the paint, protecting the paint, in those situations.
Do you think they're the best team in the East right now?
Well, we'll see. I'm not a predictor. I don't gamble, so I'm not going to say who's the best. I think we're one of the top teams. Again, the proof will be in the pudding at the end of the season.
It's only early February, but you've spoken about the importance of competing for first place this year, and of course tie-break implications potentially in this one. How do you sort of reconcile that balance, the importance of a game this early in the season that could have importance?
It has that importance to it, but I will also say yesterday's game was just as important because you mess around and lose to yesterday's game, you're not even talking about tomorrow's possible tiebreaker, all that stuff. So, every game, every possession is the mindset we've got to have. But again, going against Boston, there's home court implications. There's top of the conference implications. You're in a playoff race with that team. So yes, it puts a little bit more importance into it. But nothing demeans, and that's where teams get in trouble. You play a lesser team and you say, well, you start looking at the next game. So. Each possession, every game is important. I know it's boring and monotonous, but to win a championship, those are the things you got to do.